Alright, today we're going to talk the area of circles. It is similar to circumference in terms of we're dealing with some common values, but what's different than circumference is number one, the formula. Second is what we do when we have a diameter. And the third reason is circumference is going around it, so think about it's the perimeter of a circle. Area is everything that's inside. So it's going to be looking at it for a different type of measurement. So let's just hop right into it. All right, the formula for finding the area of a circle is the area equals pi r squared. So what's similar to circumference, we have pi and then we have radius. What's different is we're having them interact with each other a little bit differently. So we have the radius and we're squaring it. Notice that we don't have a separate one for diameter. And the reason for that is this. If you're given the diameter of a circle, you need to divide the diameter by 2 to get the radius. You cannot find the area of a circle if you are working with the diameter. You're going to be off, and it's not even like you're going to be twice as much, like because we're throwing in squaring. You end up getting off quite a bit compared to doing it the right way. So make sure that you turn it back into a radius if you're given the diameter. Hint, hint, wink, wink. And work with the radius. Okay, so 3 steps to solve any of them. Number 1, write the formula. Let me repeat that. Number 1, write the formula. Okay, we need to make sure that we are writing these formulas down, because as you go on in your math career, you're going to get more complicated formulas that you have to work with. Write the easy ones down, get used to writing the formula in. That way when you get the more complicated stuff, you're fine with it. All right, number 2, plug in the values into the formula, and then if needed, divide the diameter by 2 to find the radius. So again, that's coming back up. It's really important. Divide the diameter by 2 to find the radius. And then step 3, simply solve. All right, take a look at this. 3 examples, and then we're out of here. Okay, not too difficult today. Going to keep it easy with 3 examples, and then we practice this stuff in class together. So if you take a look at this, starts at the center of the circle, goes out to the edge. That is our radius. So what we're going to do is we're just going to simply plug into the formula the values that we are given. For today, we are going to be using 3.14 in place of pi. So don't have to worry about the pi button or 22/7, anything like that. We're just straight up going to use 3.14. So step 1, write the formula. Step 2, we're going to plug values into the formula. So like we said, in place of pi, we're doing 3.14 times the radius squared. Well, our radius is 11 squared. Order of operations comes in on this. Before I can multiply these 2 things together, I need to do the exponent of 2, because this is not 11. This is whatever 11 squared is. 11 squared, 11 times 11 is 121. So I have to do order of operations and drop everything else down, because 3.14 times 11 is much different than 3.14 times 121. So it really matters to make sure that you follow order of operations with that, because it will greatly impact your answer. Excuse me. All right. If you have a calculator, go ahead, plug this in, run it. I'll give you a second to do that. Plug in 3.14 times 121. And when you plug that into a calculator, you get an answer of 379.94. And then we just need the unit to complete solving this. And we're dealing with yards. And since it's area, it's yards squared, because area is always the unit squared. So the area of this circle is 379 94 yards squared. All right, take a look at this problem right here. Notice, goes from one end of the circle to the other and passes through the middle. That means that this is the diameter. And like we set up here, if you're given the diameter of a circle, divide the diameter by 2 to get the radius. And as it says here, if needed, divide the diameter by 2 to find the radius. So I'm going to take that diameter of 6 and divide it by 2, which gives us 3 for the radius. Diameter is 6, radius is 3. More than likely you're doing that in your head. Okay, but that's the way that we get the diameter into the radius. So let's do this one together. Step 1, write the formula. A equals pi r squared. If you're bad at drawing pi, here's a quick little, that's also pi. 2 lines, line straight across. Easy cheater way to do it if you are not good at doing that. And I'm not saying I'm great on it, but if you are worried about drawing that, just do quick 2 lines, 1 line across there. All right, plug the values into the formula. Again, we're using 3.14 in place of pi. And our radius on this, if you plug in a 6, you're going to get this wrong. Our radius is 3 squared. All right, again, order of operations, do 3 squared first. 3 times 3 is 9. And drop everything else down. And then grab your calculator and do 3.14 times 9. All right, when you do that, you get an answer of 28 and 26 hundredths. And our unit, we're dealing with centimeters. Because it's area, it's centimeters squared. So that circle that has a diameter of 6 centimeters, it has an area of 28.26 centimeters squared. All right, we have one problem left, and then we are done for today, and we'll practice this stuff together when we see each other. All right, this one's a little bit different because it gives us just words instead of a picture. So a circle has a radius of 9 yards. What's the area? If it helps you to draw yourself a picture, draw yourself a picture. Okay, there's your circle. There's the center of the circle. Draw the line out to the edge. I accidentally went a little bit past it. Oh well. Okay, 9 yards. Okay, if it helps you to visualize it, go ahead and do that. Radius of 9 yards. So we're just going to plug it in. Now you don't need to draw the picture because it tells us radius 9 yards, which means that 9 is the r, and we have all the information we need to solve right there. We know what pi is because we're using 3.14, and then we're going to multiply that by the radius squared. Radius of this is 9, so it's 9 squared. And then we just simply follow order of operations. Okay, 9 squared, 9 times 9, 81. You should remember that from a few units ago when we did perfect squares. And bring everything else down. So now we're looking at the area being equal to whatever the product of 3.14 and 81 is. Go ahead and put that in your calculator and multiply. And let's check it together. All right, when you multiply that, you get an answer of 254.34. And just like we had up here in that problem, we are dealing with yards, so our answer is going to be yards squared because it's area. So for a circle with a radius of 9 yards, 254.34 yards squared is our area. All right, make sure that you go back and watch this as many times as you need to understand how to plug everything into the formula and solve. We will take a look at this stuff together when we see each other, and we'll do some practice on area of circles. See you in class.